Greetings from the shop, everybody. Happy Lunar New Year and Happy New Year as well. Happy 2025. We're back. 2 exciting months traveling around Europe and Asia. Great to be home. It is very, very hot, and we've just come out of Europe, which is very, very cold, which is quite a contrast. So jet lag is now over and we're back in the shop. So updates, because we haven't had a video in a while and it's time we had something new. So how's this for new? That is a 2006 ex-Australian Capital Territories, or AFP, BMW R1200 RTP, the K26 model to be precise. Third owner. It's got about 134,000 Ks on it. It's an exceptionally clean model. Got to say, very, very tidy. We just picked this up for the shop. It had a two-seat conversion on it, not done very well. In fact, downright dangerously. Fortunately, we had the single police seat version still in stock. Correct rider's seat with the correct date stamp on it, the seat stay, and the radio box. We're missing a couple of items for the radio box, namely the mounting plate and seat bracket that goes here, and the relay holder fits in there. Needs a good tidy up. We have the panniers, which are right here. Thankfully, it's one key does everything. So it does the ignition, the tank, the panniers, the release for the radio box, which is awesome. We're missing a couple of pieces here. So the cross brace that runs underneath and connects through the mudguard to hold these two pannier hangers stiff so there's no movement. We're missing the brace up front on both sides that connects here to here to here. So you've got a three-way brace. That's missing front and left. These two pieces here. This back one holds the seat in place, so kind of important, and just various other bracketry. The good news is that we've got the handlebar controls for the police spec bike, this model, in stock, along with the wiring. It only looks like it had the control cables cut, so normally the light system brain and tone brain sits here, underneath that plate that's missing. We have these cables in stock, so we'll rerun those up the bike. Secondary police battery is still here and working, which is kind of unusual. These usually get pulled out fairly rapidly, so to find the original one there is very good. Looks like it hasn't been molested at all, which is even better. These are the original blue and red lighting brackets, so original spec. They've just put driving lights on them, which we'll be removing. And under here we have the original brackets for the speakers. So the right one is only a speaker, the left one is a siren controller and tone generator, and luckily both of those brackets are there, and we have both those in stock. So fairly minimal amount of fettling required to return this back to police spec. We have the pole light in stock as well. We'll get all the bits and pieces refitted. We'll remove this rather antiquated GPS system. Don't need that on the bike. Did have the push to talk style radio interface on this bike, so we'll possibly reinstate that. Depends on how far we want to go on this one. But she's a nice, really original, well-running bike. Just had a big service, new clutch, new tires, new brakes, oils, filters, everything else. Really, really nice bike. So although it's not our core demographic, as a business card, because this will be getting some of our police bike signage on it. Myself and my engine builder runs the Yamaha FJR. I run the BMW R1200. It's a really nice representation of what we can do. Plus we're using original police spec bits, which is a good thing. So there you go. That's fully registered. I won't show you the rego on it yet, but that will be coming in the next couple of days. Well, certainly by next week, we hope to have all the bits in to finish this one. So quick turnaround. Gives a bit more space in here too. The 77Z1000A1 is back. A couple of issues during shakedown, so we're going to fit a nice shiny side cover here. The new owner has provided that for us. We have an oil leak. We think it's a valve seal. So much like the 79 Z1000 Mark II that came in, and we found out that the valve seals on top were just bad, replace them, it fixed the problem. Quite likely, it's only happening on the number 3. Quite likely that's the case here, so we'll pop the head off, do that properly, check everything out, make sure she's good, and then that gets sent down the road Lovely bike though, owner's very happy with this, so I'm really happy. We have a Club Rego as well that's going to go on the bike, so it's already registered. We have the same owner who owns this bike, owns that bike, same paint scheme. I think I've mentioned that in previous videos. This one will send the fork stanchions off to be blasted, vapor blasted back to bare metal. This is how they turn out. So this is our friends at OCD Vapor Blasting. Those were appalling. Those are for 72 Honda. And all of this stuff came up like brand new. So we'll send those out. That'll be the last decorative piece required on the bike. And then basically it's just fitting everything off, testing the electrics, getting the bodywork on, giving her some fuel and going vroom. Then give her a wash and send her on her way. So that's the 79 Z1000 650. And this is a C3 model. Just ignore what it says on the coil. This is a C3 model. So that's the update on that one. No update on the other police bikes for the moment. This guy, as I'm sure you remember from the video at the end of last year, needs a Sprag clutch, which is the bit where you kickstart it. The centrifugal clutch kicks in, spins the engine over, has a multiplier in it, so the one kick spins the engine fast enough to actually fire the bike up. So you're going to order a new Sprag clutch, get that fitted, bleed the brakes, get the engine running, get this one sold. We have the remaining Z650s in here, which will now undergo the production line for 1, 2, 3. Certainly will all get on the production line and start going through restoration, getting blasted, painted, etc., etc. That'll happen in a couple of months. We've got the 72 Honda. So the engine, as you know, was done before Christmas. We've got some lovely decorative chrome parts, things like side covers, a new generator, etc., etc. So you can see these are a little tatty. These are a little tatty right here. So they sell reproduction versions of these that will bling it up. The actual bits on the engine attached to the engine block, they're not decorative, already polished up, including the cam cover, which is lovely. Same thing on this side, generator cover just looking a bit tatty. We're going to get rid of that. And then this side cover over here, replace that with a lovely shiny item. Once that's all done, starter's already in, everything is tensioned and timed, ready to be started. So that lump needs to go into this frame that's in the back corner, that one over there. And we now have all these lovely shiny bits back from vapor blasting. So this is front and rear wheel hubs. So this will go off with the new rims and stainless spokes to be relaced, as will the back hub. We have new bearings for these that will get pressed in. We've got a rebuild kit for both forks. Thankfully, the springs are in excellent condition. We don't have to deal with them. The rest of the bits and pieces, as you know, the seat, that's it right there. That is a genuine seat that we've reupholstered, and we're going to have that trim put on. So it's just been resting there while we were away. This is something you won't see too often. That's an original owner's manual for an Australian delivered bike, date stamped 1972, in basically perfect condition. Look at that. So that goes with this bike. This is a 72, number matched as close as you can get with a Honda. We have battery box. We've got the rubbers in there, so they need to be mounted. Triple tree and steering stem, the unicorn stem, that's ready to go. Just need to root out the bearing race on the top of that, which somebody did some interesting stuff with welding on. And we've got the wiring harness in. This is a very simple bike in terms of wiring harness, not much to do there, and we're fortunate we've got an original Australian delivered K2 harness with a matching ignition key right there on the floor. Clutch pack is all new, wheel bearings are all new, steering stem all new, fork gate is new. Worth pointing out also, just for anybody considering a restoration, these are the original fork tubes. They may look pitted, because they are, but there's nothing structurally wrong. They're not bent or anything like that. These are going off to A1 Hard Chroming, who will do this, turn them around, put them on the lathe, hard chrome them properly, send them back to us, and we're using original K2 fork tubes that have been refurbished back to original spec. And that's our preference always. So In looking at that, there's not a lot left to do on this one, which I'm very happy about when we get it off to the customer. We have the original toolkit right there, carbies, rear lenses for the lights, indicators, so on and so forth is all ready to go. So that's exciting. That should be, again, next 2 months we'll have that one out the door. Once that's done, as I think I mentioned in previous videos, we're going to reorganize this space right here. Our engine building and prep will move to this side, which means that bench gets moved over to here against the back wall, along with the parts cleaning, pressing, and a toolbox, another toolbox on this side. All the electrics here, it makes sense to do everything here. That becomes prep, engine build, dismantling, electrical work, etc., etc. We use this side for bike storage until we put the mezzanine in the back, the 2-story mezzanine here. And then at that point we demolish the toilet block and the office, and we reorganize so that we have a workflow that goes counterclockwise right the way around the workshop, from bike coming in, dismantling, assessing the parts, refurbishing, reassembly, delivery, and proper 2-story walkway on the side there, 1.8 meters, with an office space on the top, men's and women's bathrooms and a break room over here, so with a shower and all that sort of stuff, because on days like today it's 28, it's probably 90% in humidity in the workshop, and those whirlybirds don't do much to pull the heat or humidity out. So once we do that, we'll have a climate controlled office space right here, proper organization of all the bikes and all the parts, more importantly, and life will become much more simple. 2 final updates: the 1974 Kawasaki Z1A 900, which is that guy right there, and the 1976 Kawasaki Z900A4. They will both be undergoing full restorations this year and will be made available to some discerning buyer who would like to purchase them. They will come out lovely. We've located original sets of bodywork, original triple trees, original running gear, original brake and handlebar controls, which are very hard to find. All of the wheels and everything else that you see there relate to these bikes. Very, very excited to have these projects in-house. Most importantly, matching engine and frame. And when I say matching, people in the Kawasaki world know that you don't get matching as in the same frame number and engine number. What you get is the same production day for a frame and an engine, and they were pulled off 2 separate assembly lines and then assembled and sent out the door. So that's what we mean by matching. So very excited to have that all verified. So one engine is in there, one engine is in there, both frame swing arms are sitting right there. So extremely happy to have that. Should be a very exciting project. So there you go. That's the mini update. I'll keep this video mercifully short, or at least as short as me signing off now. Hope you're really having a fantastic 2025 so far. Can't believe it's already February. Before you know it's Valentine's Day, or Misery Day as some people like to call it. I think it's a bit of fun myself. And like to wish everybody a very, very happy year of the snake for those who are into the lunar calendar. May it bring us all health, happiness, lots of humor, and exceptionally good prosperity. Hope you're doing well. Catch you in the next vid. Cheers, everyone.